So I'm Noella, who's been a religious sister for the last 45 years. I would like to share my experiences of my interreligious thought. What you gave me was a lot about the women of Rome in Catholic Church and Phoebe. And what do I know about Phoebe? What do I know about the women of the Catholic Church? Yes, I know the four women doctors of the Catholic Church and all that. But I was wondering how it influenced us being so far away from Rome. The Old Testament is full of a history which is not our own. We still follow it religiously. And maybe for at the moment, even though it's not relevant, Melchizedek and all those people, we still follow it because we don't have anything else to go to. I think it will be a long way forward if we take our history of India. We have a Maria Goretti in Nirbhaya. We have many unsung heroines who are the domestic violence survivors. They're not victims, they're survivors because they overcome that and continue life. That means there's a resurrection there also. We have Rani Maria, a sister who was fighting for people's rights and who was murdered. We have Rani of Jhansi to talk about another religion. Rani of Jhansi was the queen of Jhansi who led her people to war for freedom. We have Sultana Razia, who was the only Sultan of Delhi in her time. We have Annie Besant. Annie Besant was an English woman who came to India, who taught. She was very proactive in teaching women. And of course, the saint of it all was Savitribai Phule, who was an excellent teacher. So we have all these people in our legacies, a rich legacy, and still we go to Phoebe and Deborah, and very good. I'm not putting them down at all, but we need to grow more in our own ancestry, in our own history, in our own wealth. I like that we have diversity in all our heroes. Our heroines and heroes are from different religions. So we did a gender justice study for women religious in the country, and I think some of the findings are very important. Regarding property matters, we discovered that many times the documents of the properties are not given to sisters. The bishops keep it, the parish priests keep it, and they say, no, sisters, it's safe in our keeping. But why is that? Aren't we capable of keeping our own documents? But what is happening now is that because the documents are in the hands of the bishops, they're asking for the land back again. Before, what was a gentleman's agreement given permission is being asked back again. And sometimes the sisters are not only being asked for the land, but they're also being asked for the buildings that the sisters have built for their own region. So is that wisdom? Then you have to think of sacramental blackmail. If the parish priest is not happy with you adhering to his vision of what a parish should be like, he refuses to come from us. This is a very progressive congregation who said, if the fathers don't want to come from us, it's fine. We'll continue with our paraliturgical services. And they had very nice ones because they had sisters who had just returned from Africa, but because of the lack of priests in the country they were trained in having these services, and they were the ones who were conducting that particular service. The parish priest came when he heard about it, locked the tabernacle, and took the key to the bishop. There's no need to say more about ego. There's no need to say more about power, male chauvinism. It's all there. You know, when the parishes have schools, the parish priest is the manager, or the headmaster or principal, and then below the principal is a chief teacher or whatever they say in different languages here. So the parish priest will get the salary of the principal, and the chief teacher or the supervisor, somebody who's normally assistant doing all the work, will get even oftentimes less than what a trained teacher gets because she belongs to a congregation and congregation has to look after her. Is this fair? Somehow it's difficult to take up cases with the bishop because the bishop oftentimes throws up his hand in despair. He says, there's nothing I can do with my clergy. Bishops will never advocate for sisters, never, because they talk so rarely to sisters, they don't understand their experience. How can they advocate for somebody who they don't know anything about? It doesn't make sense. So, the bishops are never going to talk about equality, about decision making. You have discipleship of equals. Bishops don't know anything about it. Why should they? So, when I think about things like that, I said, if we want the church to change, if we want the church to go forward, the men are not going to change it. They're very stable in their own position of power. And who's going to give up power in this world? Nobody. So it's left to us. We have to be constructive. We have to do it in a nice way. We don't have to do it in the same way as men are doing, definitely not. But we have to be creative and constructive in the way we do it, and also to carry them along with us, not leave them back the way they left us. But my work always helps me and inspires me to bring it back to the church from my secular sphere. TRI is a Conference of Religious of India. We are 1,500 sisters and 300 fathers, so 1,800 has belonged. Before we would have a recollection feast or recollection for Christmas given by the bishops. Recently, we've changed that. I was very interested in joining the CRI executive committee, and I was very interested in opening the windows, should I say, of our CRI. So I've brought in that whole socio-political stance of my work in a secular NGO, and I think it's really appreciated.